Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Jaya Rajajanaranjana Jaya Rajajanaranjana Yamuna Thiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajanaranjana Jaya Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Thiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Yamuna Thiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Louder! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vidam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Samarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Nama Om Vishnuvadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyareshataya Vancha Kalpadrubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Pancha Tattva ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So, good evening everyone. How do we say? Not Dobra Vechor. You say Dobra Vechor? Thank you. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Where are we? Chapter 8? Yeah? Verse 7. Chapter 8, verse 7. Tasmad, oh, shoo. This is where Krishna gets serious. All right. Very nice verse. Hard to know sometimes how to follow it. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Mamanusmara yudhyacha. Mamanusmara yudhyacha. Mayi arpita manobudhir. Mayi arpita manobudhir. Mame vaishasya sanshaya. Mame vaishasya sanshaya. Ladies. Sarveshu kaleshu Mamanusmara yudhyacha No buddhir Mame vaishasya samshaya. Gents, Tasmat sarveshu kameshu Mam anusmarayunyacha Manobudhir Mamevaishasya samshayaha Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu Mamanusmarayudhyacha Mayarpita manobudhir Mame vaishasya samshayaha. Okay, what does it mean? Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu, at all. You're translating, yeah? Okay. Kaleshu, times. Mam, me. Anusmara, go on remembering. Yudhya, fight. Cha, also. Mai, unto me. Arpita, surrendering. Mana, mind. Buddhi, intellect. Mam, unto me. Eva, surely. Eshyasi, you will attain. Asamshaya, beyond a doubt. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. And a short purport. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men engaged in material activities. Prabhupada generally will use the kind of generic men because it was before the time that it became unpolitically correct. Huh? Yeah, it became politically incorrect to not be gender neutral. Of course, Prabhupada means men and women, but he says men because up until the 1970s, that was standard. Meaning human. Okay, therefore Arjuna, purport. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men and women engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. One can continue them and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, without doubt. And so ends Prabhupada's purport. Any questions? Pretty straightforward. Whenever we see this word tasmat in the beginning of a verse, sometimes not in the beginning of the verse, but often, literally it means from that. It's an ablative sort of form, but therefore, as Prabhupada translates. So when we're saying therefore, that usually means something before this was being explained. And now, because of what we heard before, therefore, whatever. So then, what is it that came before? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam eva eti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavita. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits this body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Tam tam eva. So there's this interesting repetition, yum yum and tam tam. So it's called the relative correlative in English. It's probably a Sanskrit term for it. So it's yat, tat, but then it becomes yam in the neuter, I guess. And when it's repeated, yum yum, it means whatever. Sometimes in English, when devotees, when people are arguing this way or that way, should we do this, should we do that, then we say whatever. Maybe we could start learning to say some of these things in Sanskrit. Yum yum. But it goes together with tum tum, right? So whatever, whatever is being remembered, smaran. Whatever bhava is smaran, is being remembered. Tyajati, at the time of death, ante kalevaram, because this is answering one of Arjuna's questions. Verse 2, prayana kale cha katam yeyosi niyata atmabi. How, the word katam is the question word, how? How are you knowable? Gyeya asi. How are you knowable? Prayana kale, at the time of the end of this body. Literally at the time of leaving, of moving on. So Arjuna's asked this question and Krishna's now answering. He, of course, started to answer this in the previous verse. Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati sa madbhavam yati na asti atra samshaya. Whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. And that's in a sense the more specific answer, because Arjuna asked, what did he ask? He asked, Geyos, katam geyosi, how will how are you to be known? Asi is second person, so you are. Katam asi, how are you? How are you what? How are you gyeyaha, to be known? So we have the word jnana, knowledge, and then we have gyeya, jnyeya, that which is to be known. How are you to be known? And then Krishna answers, if you remember me, antakale, or mukta kalevaram, at the end of this body. No, he says antakale. Muktva kalevaram, having given up this body, then you'll come to me. And that means you'll know me. Don't worry about knowing. You'll come to me. But then he gives in verse 6 the more general principle of the mechanism, you could say, of the relationship between what we remember and where we go. So again, the word smaran, yam yam va api, that va is kind of like however, whatever, or however, in reference to what came the previous verse, whatever you remember, yam yam va api smaran bhavam tyajati antakalevaram tam, that, that whatever, eva, only, or certainly, Prabhupada likes to translate eva as certainly, it can also mean only. There only you will go. At means goes. And is that really so? Yes, Krishna says, sada tatbhava bhavita. Sada means always. You're always, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't expect otherwise. Okay, so that's the background to verse 7, which then starts with tasmat, therefore. Since this is the mechanism about remembering and where you go, there's the general principle, and the specific is what you want is to remember me. So Krishna says, tasmat, sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudya cha. And here he's using what's called the imperative form in English of two verbs, anusmara and yudya. Remember, it's a command. It's the strongest form of telling to do something in Sanskrit. Smara, we had this word yesterday, but in a different context with a different meaning. Here, smarana, we all know, means remembering. But what did we have yesterday? Anyone remember? In the verse from the 10th canto, chapter 43. Let's see, the verse was Mallanam Ashanir Nrinam Narabara Strinam Smaro Murtiman. Strinam Smaro Murtiman. So Smara. Strinam, how did Krishna appear to the ladies? As Cupid. Smara. So smara also means Cupid. Don't ask me how smara means Cupid, and it also means memory. Maybe it's anyway, I'll just speculate. Smara. Mam anusmara. So anu has a sense of ongoing. not just once, but always, ongoing. Prabhupada translates, go on remembering. Mam anusmara, and then yudya. Yudya is also imperative form, fight. So that's, of course, what Krishna's been preaching to Arjuna from the beginning, in chapter 2. Stand up and fight. Utishta, utishta, utishta. Stand up and fight. Why? Because you're a kshatriya. And even if you don't, he says in the end of the Gita, what does Krishna say? Even if you don't fight, you're still going to end up fighting because that's your nature. You may go to the forest. And that happens when Arjuna, before all of this, he's with his brothers in the forest and with Draupadi, and they are keeping the curse. They've been cursed. They lost in this gambling match, and now they're in the forest for 12 years. Plus 1 year. And Arjuna gets nervous. Got to do something. He's a kshatriya. And he decides, I have to go and get some weapons, because I know that when we come back, we're going to have a fight. So how to get some weapons, go to Lord Shiva. But you don't just go to Lord Shiva and say, my dear sir, please give me some weapons. No, you have to earn them. So for that, you need to do some austerity. So he goes into the Himalaya and he practices austerity, standing on one leg and all of that. But then, at one point, I think it's a boar comes by. He sees a boar, and he just can't resist. He grabs his bow and his arrow. He shoots the boar, and simultaneously, what happens? You know the story? Huh? Yes, Lord Shiva also shot the boar, but in the guise of a hunter. So the two arrows came simultaneously. Arjuna went to claim his prize. The hunter came to claim his prize. And there has to be a fight. And the fight, Arjuna doesn't know, is with Shiva until Lord Shiva reveals himself. Satisfied now that indeed you've won qualification to receive weapons. So what does he get? I don't know. Pashupata, who knows? So the point is, he's a kshatriya, and therefore Krishna is telling him, yes, remember me, but don't think you can just sit around remembering me. You're a kshatriya, so you have to fight. So do both. Mam anusmara yudya cha. So the cha is important here. Remember me and fight. Not just one or the other. Not kind of one and then the other and then the other, back and forth. So you have to do both at once. Krishna, in this verse, he has the word mam, and then mayi, and then again mam. So it's pretty strong here. This is chapter 8, which is getting near the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, and we know from, is it Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I think, says, the middle is the most important place. Like when you make a group photo, you put the kind of more important, the VIPs, you put in the middle. So the middle, the chapter 9, is considered most important, 9 and 10. Anyway, here Krishna is really coming out. You should remember me and mayi arpita mano buddhi. Prabhupada translates arpita as surrendering. More literal would be just offered. It's a past passive participle, so the buddhi, the mind, buddhi and mind offered, mayi, unto me. And when should the buddhi and the mind be offered to me? And when should I fight and when should I remember? Sarveshu kaleshu. This is called the plural locative. Locative means location, and in this case, in. So, in all time. All the time. Prabhupada sometimes would say, 24 hours a day. Did you ever wake up in the morning and kind of think, oh no, where has my mind been for the last 6 hours? No, you're all thinking of Krishna all night long. So, yeah, that's what we want to aim for. Mai arpita manobud. Here and then, the last line Prabhupada Krishna gives the promise. Mam eva eshyasi. Eshyasi is future form. You will go. And we might think, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And Krishna says, asangshaya, there's no doubt. Mam eva, to me, again, Prabhupada says, surely for eva, it can be taken as only, so you will come without doubt, or you will go without doubt to me alone. You won't go to somewhere else, you'll go to me. If you remember me, you'll go to me. So, what do you think? Do we want to go to Krishna? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, no. Maybe. Yes, no. Maybe. Yes. Haribol. Right, so those are a few points. One point Prabhupada makes in the purport, he says this is in particular for those men engaged in material activities. And so one way to understand this is, you could say it's within the sphere of karma yoga. Now, sometimes we kind of minimize karma yoga. I would say that we can also maximize our appreciation when we take it that the word karma just means action. So if we're acting in this world, which we're probably doing as long as we have physical bodies, so whatever we're doing, we can, if we're connecting it, yoga, if we're doing in a spirit of connecting with Krishna, then that's karma yoga, we can say. But it's not like, it's bhakti at the same time. If the mood is devotional, then that karma of being active is bhakti. It's devotional. And Prabhupada stresses, as he takes every opportunity to do, chanting of Hare Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Krishnaloka, without a doubt. That's reassuring. What do you think? No? Yeah. Lots of reassurance we get in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, this is a nice verse to remember. Aside from remembering Krishna, you can also remember this verse to help you remember Krishna. One way of remembering Krishna is remembering what Krishna says. And one thing he says in Bhagavad Gita is, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. So if I can remember that, that's a good way to remember Krishna. What do you think, Lalita Govinda? Would be nice. That sounded would be nice. Okay, any thoughts, any questions, any reflections, inspirations, expirations? Yes, Rishabha ji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I'm thinking what is stopping us from always thinking of Krishna, and first my thoughts are like, oh, maybe it's this environment, this Kali Yuga, this different ways of contaminating the minds. The mind is full of, more than ever, full of garbage, which is ever freshly filled with more contents from the internet. But then again, I think that thinking of Krishna is a blessings of Krishna. So again, it's only mercy of highly elevated personalities that you can actually think of Krishna. So can you kind of maybe tell me what is the key? How can we actually come to the point of thinking of Krishna?
The key. Yes, if we think of others who think of Krishna, that can help. It's a little like, I always remember one of my godbrothers explained in Mayapur, in the Radhamadava temple, and Nrsimha Dev is there. And when there's darshan of Nrsimhadev, because the angle is rather narrow, you have to be kind of quite straight in line to see. But you might, because there may be so many devotees, you may be further back and you don't see so well the deity. What you see is the backs of so many devotees. Right? So this devotee was saying, what's the problem? You're seeing the backs of devotees. You are blessed. Because those devotees are seeing Krishna. You're seeing them, seeing Krishna. Be happy. And remember that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, don't try to see Krishna, try to act in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. In a kind of related way, we maybe want to think about this. Instead of straining ourselves how to remember Krishna, we might act in such ways that Krishna wants to remember us. What's that? If we act in such a way that Krishna wants to remember us, that means we're remembering Krishna. Isn't it? There's a kind of inverse way of I'm working on this myself, so I don't have a magic wand. I don't have a Harry Potter magic wand. Bling. One time, many years ago, again in Mayapur, Bhakti Tirtha Swami was giving lecture, morning Bhagavatam class, and temple room was packed. It was during the Gaur Purnima festival. And he's a very powerful speaker, very powerful orator. And he was really on a roll. He was roaring. You know, we have to surrender to Krishna. I don't remember the exact content, but you know, he was really going at it. I mean, he was 180 kilometers an hour, you know. And it was very powerful, very moving. And right in the middle of when he was doing this, suddenly he stopped and he said, don't mind me. He lowered his voice. He said, don't mind me, I'm just preaching to myself. Right, it's been a bit of a long day for me, and I have another long day tomorrow. So, thank you all so much. It's been nice to be here, as always, feeling so blessed. So, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, right? What's the next line? Huh? No, the next line, mam anusmara yudhya cha. Yes. Our fighting may be fighting our minds to not forget Krishna. Or our fight may be with, so many obstacles. But if we remember Krishna, then we don't have to really fight so much. We just have to be intelligent. Therefore, arpita mano buddhi, using the buddhi as well as the mind, being sharp and ready with the mind and intelligence to offer it to Krishna. Which means saying, my dear Lord, this is your mind, this is your intelligence. Let me use whatever use I may have of it, let it be for you. That can be a little prayer. All right. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Panchatattva ki jai. Gaur Premanande.